Good morning, how are you doing today? I'm going to jump right into it. We are going to be making a rattle trap, but not just any rattle trap, a jointed rattle trap. So the joint's going to go long ways with the bait instead of up and down, and hopefully it's going to look amazing in the water. We're going to be making it out of a scrap 2x4 that I found in a construction site. So let's go ahead, jump in the video, jump in the shop, and get started. Alright, let's get started. We got it all drawn out. It's gonna be pretty simple. It's just a regular rattle trap design with a line going down the center for a joint. And yeah, it's me different, very different. So let's get started. Alright, let's get this thing cut out. Alright, got it all sanded out, looking good. Now we gotta draw the top profile and then cut it out. Okay, so half of this, I'm just trying to mark a half line. So here is 37.7 millimeters. So then we'll divide that by 2. And that's actually just about where I thought it would be. Put a mark right there. And then we're gonna make our half mark. Easy as that. We're gonna try to keep it simple. Just a regular old design for a rattle trap. There we go. Now let's pretty much connect the dots. Alright, got the top profile all cut out. Now we're going to start working on the chamfer lines. Alright, now let's cut it out, carve it, and then we're going to start sanding. So we got the chamfer lines all carved out. You can see that looks really nice. And now we're going to take some sandpaper and start sanding it. Now what I did, I left the nose pretty flat and blunt, so when it's pulling it'll catch water and wiggle. And then I kind of tapered it down on the back. And there we go, got it all rounded off, looking super good. Now, this is kind of where it's gonna get a little tricky. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put a joint in it running across. So long ways with the bait, not up and down, long ways. So what I think I'm gonna do is put the line tie hook hanger and other hook hanger in first and let it to make sure the action is good, because rattle traps are super hard to get tuned and made right from the factory even, let alone making them out of scratch, out of raw materials. So I am going to let it, seal it, all that, get it ready, and then I'm going to test it, make sure that it works perfect, and then we're gonna cut a joint running through. So it's almost like 2 rattle traps in one. It'll look pretty interesting. So let's go ahead and start adding hardware, the seal, and mark all the holes for the lead. Alright, so we got it all drilled out, and now we're gonna go drill the lead holes. Alright, let's drill a lead hole. Alright, so we got 2 lead holes, kind of in the front. Keep it like this. Keep it kind of upright. And yeah, we might have to end up adding one in the back later. I don't really know yet. But now let's start adding in the line ties and stuff. Okay. So I just gotta, whenever I'm cutting this, I'm just making sure it won't go past this cut line here that we're gonna make. Alright. So I'm gonna make sure not to go all the way through because these 2 holes do connect. Alright, there's the top one, and then we're going to put this bottom one in. So this one doesn't, the bottom one doesn't need to be sank in there too much, just because there's going to be lead in there holding that whole thing in. Alright, and they're all set up in there. Now we're going to seal it and then throw some lead in there and test her out. Alright, so we're out here at the trough. Here it is, and again, I'm not cutting it in half yet, but if this works, then the next thing we'll do is go up in the shop and cut her in half. And that is exactly what I'm looking for. Take a look at that. Okay, so it works absolutely phenomenal. So now you can see that line that I have marked out right here, and that's where I'm going to cut the joint. it works exactly how I want it. So now, the next step is cutting it in half. This is where it could be a do or die situation. It could end everything or start something amazing. There we go. Now we are going to put a joint. It's gonna look pretty interesting. Alright. So we got it cut in half and sanded. Pretty much made it X. Dead center is where it's gonna be. Now we just gotta drill some holes. It's gonna take a little critiquing to actually make sure it works too. And there we go. Got a free moving joint on this rattle trap. Looks pretty silly, but I think it's gonna work pretty good. Now, it's not glued in. I don't want it to be glued in because again, I don't want to have to paint it, clear coat around all this stuff. So I'm gonna clear coat separate and glue it in all separate and all that. So let's go and test it out real quick. All right, well, we got the bait all cut up and we're gonna try it out. What? What the heck? So it goes through the water. This moves, and then this moves like that. That's weird. So I feel like for the paint job, I'm gonna do like 2 shads and put 2 eyes on it. So I'll put an eye here, an eye there, and an eye here, and an eye there. Kind of have a dual body because it looks like 2 fish. Alright, so now I am going to add the eyes. So I'm going to have 2 eyes on each one, pretty much 4 eyes in total. So I'm going to mark it right there. And now for this one. Alright, we got both the eye holes marked, and now we're going to go drill them out. Here we go. So now we're going to start painting this bait up. First, we're going to start out with a white base coat, and then pretty much go from there with the shad pattern. Super simple. Alright, we're gonna go ahead, clip this thing in. We're gonna start out with a black top on the bottom piece, and then same thing on top. Alright, now I got some just red. I'm really just gonna put it on the nose here. Alright, so now we're gonna do some pearl white. Gonna put some scales on. Look at that. Looking amazing. I don't know if you can see those scales. That looks great. Now we're gonna do that on this one. Alright, this is looking amazing. Look at that. Looks super, super cool. One of my favorite paint jobs, even though it's super simple. So now we are going to clear coat it. We are all done. Got the clear coat on, looking gorgeous. Love that paint job. Now we're gonna take it to the lake and go try to catch a fish on it. Alright, we are out here with the crazy looking rattle trap. It's kind of running sideways, and I'm expecting that out of a rattle trap, especially one that has a joint in it. Rod over there, and I was kind of just letting it sink. It's probably like 20 feet down there. And let's go take it. I'm about to cast it out, but it's probably already at the bottom. It's a slow sinker. Oh yeah. I can pop it up some of that moss. Wait. No way. Look at that. That is funny. Look at that. I just let it sink and Buddy had it the whole time. Look at that. He just picked it up and I guess took it straight to the bottom and he couldn't fight through all the moss. That's actually really funny. Well, there we go, guys. Fish, bass, like jointed rattle traps. Look at that. Get a good look at that. All right, let's get this girl back. I really got to throw her out there because of, you know, she's out there. It's real shallow. So I think I'm gonna try to replicate that. I think there might be some up in these bamboo areas too, because I mean, it's still fall. There's a cold front coming in, so they might be feeding up right now, trying to, you know, get a last meal before they go deep, because this might be their last time they can feed for the whole winter. Kind of catching them at a perfect time, literally catching them. What is up with these fish today? I didn't even know I had one. Well, look at that, number 2. What is up with them? Thank you, bub, but tell your big guys to fight. Actually fight. Again, I just felt some weight and kind of felt abnormal. And I'll put a hook in my finger. And he said, I'm a fish. And I said, okay, well, cool, I'll take you. And I just caught more of this white stuff. Come on. Come on. Come on in. Get over here. Don't come off. And landed. Biggest catch of the day. There's only one thing better than catching fish out of a lake. It's cleaning up the lake for the fish. Same thing I did with this. This came from that construction site. Now I'm cleaning up more stuff from that construction site. Right, here's a little close-up of the action for you guys. I'm gonna kind of run it past here. Look at that. So it wiggles from the bottom. So this, it kind of does one of those maneuvers. Well guys, sun is going down. It's getting cold. And I feel like the rattle trap was a success. I would definitely build this bait again. And if I did, put the line tie a little bit more forwards. Maybe add a little more weight to it. But besides that, the bait was perfect. Caught 2 fish. And I'm happy with those 2 fish. So I will see you guys on the next adventure. As always, just go for it. Stay scrappy.
You get more with Max for sure. If you'll just take a listen, you'll see how fun it can be at Max More Fishing.